Do you like spooky Halloween cards? What? They're actually cute. Oh. Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and my studio. As you may have guessed by my introduction, Halloween cards are on tap for today. Some of us love Halloween more than should be humanly possible. And today, if you know Pretty Pink Posh, then you know when Halloween comes around, they release the cutest designs, and I'm going to make two cards that are, well, spooky cute. To see those cards, stick around. That video is coming up next. You told me to do my goth look. So here's a look at the products I'm going to use for my first card today. Now, I did a little die cutting already with the Pretty Pink Posh Stitched Ghosts. So these are different sizes with different little faces that you can put, and I just did a bunch of these in this palette, which actually I saw a bunch of things at Michael's in these colors, and I thought, this is fabulous. So this is all Concord and 9th cardstock. I'm going to do some dry embossing with this cute bat stencil. I also am going to take my greeting from Halloween Corners, but this also is so cute because it has these little corner images that you can color, and I have the coordinating dies. So let's get started with the dry embossing. Oh, and I should show you this because I have been wanting these little Spellbinder stacks, that they're little trays when you are prepping a project, or maybe you're working on something and you want to put it away. They come in a 4-pack, and I bought a 4-pack, and they stack and close up like that, and they fit a USA2 card and working pieces. So that's what this little friend is. Okay, so I've got my die cut machine. I'm going to be using my Intricut today, but here's a little hot tip. You know how you will pull out your embossing mats and they're covered with mucky muck? I've showed this before. They just get dusty. If you have a lint roller, it's so great for getting them clean so they don't also press the dust and whatever's on here into your cardstock that you're embossing on. I use this thing for a lot of things, and I love it. Okay, so you're going to need an embossing mat, whatever your machine is, and I've got the embossing mat. I've got my paper, let's see here, and I've trimmed this down. I trimmed it by hand. So this is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. So let's give this a try. I have my machine set on 2D letterpress emboss. I'm going to, maybe I can zoom out just a little bit here. Get a little, well, there we go. I have a limited workspace. Okay, we're going to pop this in. And you take your mat, and I'm using my magnetic plate that I have. It's just a different plate for the Gina K Designs Intricut. So you go mat, okay, paper, and then your stencil, okay, and we are going to be pressing these bats into this cardstock. So all I do now, and I think this will work, but I haven't really tried it this much with this particular mat or setup, so let's give it a go and see if it will go through. Oh yeah, that feels really good. In fact, it might not be tight enough, but we'll see. It's just to get a little tone-on-tone texture. In fact, I think I'm going to, now that it's through, well, maybe. Let's take a look. Have a very subtle bat pattern now. See that in there? Isn't that cute? It's just a way to add a tiny bit of extra texture, and really you can see the deboss on this side. I may actually do one more with a little tighter of tension on the side here. I can go, let's see, I'm going to go to -3. I think I'll try it one more time and see the difference. And I think we should have a slightly deeper texture. Actually, it's not. No, that's a lot deeper. Okay, I will be using this for my panel. I'm going to take the Happy Halloween off of here, like this. And actually, you know what? While I'm here, I should do a couple. I've got the cardstock. You know what they say, spooky wishes. Let's just have a couple. Oh, ghostly greetings though too. You know, sometimes if you do extras, then, oh, the ghostly greetings would be so cute. Okay. All right, I will pick these up. I'm going to prime these a little because they're brand spanking new using my little stamp conditioning eraser. Of course, you can just use your finger. I did that for years. You only need to do this with a new stamp, and even then you don't have to do it, but it just makes the little coating on the photopolymer that is on there when you first open the stamps from the process of making the stamps. So, getting you guys going, let me grab my embossing ink and powder. First, I'm going to use my anti-static powder on here, and all this does is it allows for the excess powder here to slide off the cardstock. So if you've ever done this and your powder sticks everywhere and you're like, why does it do that? It's because there's oil on our fingers, there's static on the paper, and that's why it happens. So this is my Simon Says Stamp watermark and embossing ink. We will bring this down, and I will grab my little Stampin' Bug just to transfer the ink. I love stamping on dark ink because you can see it so clearly. Okay, that looks great. I don't think we need another pass. Let me grab my paper catch. All right, those look great. I will set this aside, and I like to hold with a clothespin so that when I'm heating, things don't burn my finger. This is just a piece of cheap copy paper, and this is Brutus Monroe embossing powder in alabaster. Okay, we'll just add you on. Just let that sit for a second. And slide off. Oh, that's gonna look great. Do a second little coating. And tap. And see how most of the powder falls away? There's a few little specks here and there, and I can go ahead and use a dry brush to clean that up. I have this little angled shader brush, and it's really nice for coming in and just getting any of the extra bits off. Most of it won't matter. In fact, I'll show you this. I have a smaller one too. I have two of them. So if there's any that shows up inside, you can just touch it and brush it away. I really want the ghostly greetings, I think, so I'm going to focus on that. There's only a couple areas in here. That little guy. There's one inside that. I do this and take the time because what else am I going to do? Okay. On black cardstock, it really shows up, but that looks good. I'm going to heat up my heat tool and we'll melt the powder. Oh my gosh, those look so good. All right, I will let this cool for a second. I will buff off the powder and I'll show you that in just a sec. Also, to clean off my stamps, I just use my stamp chamois, which is damp. Just wipe off the residue and I keep it in a little, well, I usually fold it. It looks messy, but it's actually pretty clean, and I put it in this little guy because this allows a little air to come in so it doesn't get too, smelly, I guess. All right, we'll put these back on the acetate. Once your embossing is completely set, you can take a cloth, especially on dark cardstock, and just go over it to get that anti-static powder look off. You can even just use your fingers at this point because, again, hands, they have oil. So if you're seeing more of that anti-static powder, just do that and it comes back and it looks great. I've got the coordinating dies taped into place, and I'm just going to run this through my electronic die cut machine. All right, and now look at that. I have super cute greetings. I'm going to cut out one more layer from the black just to have some buildup and dimension behind each one, although I'm pretty sure I'm going to use the ghostly greetings. I'll do that off camera and then we'll move on to building the card. I'm just adding liquid glue to another die cut layer, and that way this will have a little more thickness and dimension. So stack them together, make sure they're lined up, and I will just pop my glass block on here. I had an idea while I was sitting here thinking, which happens when I'm making a card. So I have my little panel with the bats. I went ahead and made a note card out of the same black cardstock. So you can see how it's going to look like that. But I thought it would be cute to stamp a panel for the inside of the card. And here, let's move this up a bit. To do that, let me zoom out, with one of the little corners. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to put this in like that, okay? And I'm just going to position these little corners inside. I don't always show the insides of cards, but you know, if it's a black card and you want to have some room to write, you kind of have to do something, right? So we are going to make the inside look like that. Isn't that cute? So I will just do this in black ink, and I'm not going to color these. I'm just doing this to have something cute on the inside. Okay, so we'll ink up our stamps, and see, this is where when you prime, you'll notice if you don't prime it good enough, the ink can sit on top a little bit of the stamp itself, and that's just because it's brand new and has that coating. I think I might have to restamp my bugs there a little. Yeah, I'll do it twice. Okay, just get a nice black impression. Now, if I wanted to color these, I certainly could, because this ink is alcohol marker friendly, but I'm keeping this one very simple and nice on the inside. So that's the inside. All right, let's build the card. So the first thing I'm going to do is add the inside here to my note card. And I'm just going to put a little tape runner on, just enough to hold it in place. And that, my friends, gives me something that I can write on. All right, I'm going to stand up just so I can see all sides. Forgive my head. Well, maybe my head won't get in the way. See how you just kind of frame it out on the inside? Like that. Woo! And that's where my greeting goes. Okay, I think that is so cute. All right, now I need to give this a nice press with my Teflon bone folder just to make sure that is there. I don't want to put, well, you know what? I could put some tape on the inside. Because see, it's popping up because it's, you know, nice thick cardstock. So what I'm going to do is just put some right in the center where it won't affect where I've stamped. I have foam tape on the back of this panel, and I will take this off and pop this right on. Just want to make sure my bats are looking the right way. Make sure the bats are the right position up, and I'm going to pop that down onto the note card. Now we bring in our little friends, and I'm going to speed this up because otherwise we're going to be here all day. I'm going to add some dimension with different heights and different depths of foam square. So I'll do that and we'll speed it up. cute is that card? So you have little bats. It's subtle, right? But there they are, ghostly greetings. Now, I do have a fill that has teeny tiny bats. I might see what they look like, so hold tight. Those are adorable. So I know it's meant to be a shaker fill, and it's kind of a rubberized thing, so I don't think I can pick them up with my pickup tool. So I'm gonna see. Let's see if I can do it with this. So I've never booped a bat, but that's what we're gonna try. Oh boy, it's got to be two-handed because it's sticking in my tweezers. Boop. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Oh, or would it be not boop, it would be bat? Please tell me some of you out there watch What We Do in the Shadows, because if you do, you know exactly who I'm channeling right now. This is my Laszlo Cravensworth. Another angle here. Let's do a different angle. Bat? Bat? Oh gosh, so you can see though, and they almost read like bats, but maybe a little bit like hearts. And bat. That's the finished card project. So see how sometimes you just add a little extra something? Oh, let's zoom in. Okay. I love this card. I love that there are bats in the background, but it's very subtle, right? You don't really notice it. And I did decide, obviously, as you saw, I needed to add black behind them. Oh, and then when you open the card, now I can take the tape out, we have cute little inside for actually writing a greeting. Love how that turned out. For my second card, I am using the Bat Shaker. So this is designed to make a shaker. I cut out, I'll show you here, out of some fig cardstock, the initial shape, and then I cut the center out here because I wanted this to be framed out in purple. So I went ahead and trimmed a panel here, and then you can see I did the same dry embossing. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my elements up here. See, I have my greetings and I have my bat head, which this time I remembered to put some color behind, and I'm going to flip this over. I've got a piece of acetate here. I'm just gonna cut it to be the size that I need, which is right about there, I guess. You just need, oh, there we go. You just need enough to cover the window completely, like that. And actually, I could probably trim some of it off. But what I'm gonna do is, you know what? I think I'm just gonna use tape runner here to hold it in place, because this all gets sealed up with foam tape. And this is enough to keep the acetate window in place. Sometimes I use a heavier, like a score tape, which I had pulled, but honestly, I don't think I need it for this. All right, now I'll just say, we'll place you down like that. So this is the window that's gonna keep our shaker bits in place. Now, while I'm here, I might as well inlay this. So I'm gonna add my liquid glue. I wanna be light with this so that I don't get little bits of glue that ooze out onto the window. So I'm going to put it more towards the edge of the die cut. Right, and then I will carefully drop you right lined in like that, going all the way around and making sure we have placed you right inside. That cute. All right, I'm going to put my brick on and let that have a chance to adhere. All right, I'm going to add my shaker strips. These are from Gina K Designs. This is a product I really like because it has the perfect amount of depth. And what you want to do with any shaker, I guess, here, let's do this first. You want to get as close to your shape as possible. And then what I'm going to do is you just want to make sure that everything is sealed, right? Because we don't want our shaker bits coming out at all. You got to seal that up. The nice thing about shaker strips as well is they do not have, what is it? They're not sticky on the side. So there's nothing that's going to stick to them. They have a nice, I'm just going to go all the way up like that. Because I'm going to have to put a back on this, and I think I'm going to do black. I'm not 100% sure yet, but we'll see. We're going to seal you there. Go right across. Okay, see how we're building our well? And then, of course, you fill in the outside so that everything has support. And then here, we'll just go like that to right there. I might as well just go all the way to here. There. And then the rest of this gets built up as well. Okay. There. All right. Panel done. And now I'm going to add this fill. This is really cute, these little beads, but like I said, you gotta be careful. They're very floaty, and they're going to roll around and make a delightful noise. All right, so let's gently pour them in. Now, do I want a lot in here? I do. I do, because I think they're going to be so cute. I think that's going to be enough. Okay, now this is the part where I wish I could tell you that it was easy. You have to be so careful that you don't, what is the word? Pop your paper. So when you're taking your foam strip backers off, hold your panel down, because every little pop could potentially make all of your beads pop. And we don't want that. We want to go like this. I've done this so many times where I wasn't holding things down and then a big pop happened and like sequins go flying, and I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's certainly not, but then you have to kind of pick them all off the stickies and Okay, I think this is going to be cute though. As you get closer to the center part too, again, you got to make sure you are holding something down. And that's what I'm doing, because see, there's always a little pop. Hold you down. And then we are going to seal this all in. You know what? Oh gosh, my finger just stuck. Don't let your finger stick. That's another thing to watch. Don't stick, because if your fingers stick, then you lift the whole thing up. All right, and we're peeling that off. And then we have the time to put the backer on carefully. I'm going to stand up. I've trimmed this to be a little smaller, and if a little foam shows up on the sides, it's no big deal, because the goal is to see what happens? It's to seal that in. And now when I flip this over, you will see the sealing has happened. How fun is that? Look at all the beads. Okay, let me get a note card prepped. Now we take our liquid glue and we put it all over the back like that. And if we are fancy, we make an extra bat. You know, you gotta remember what's there. Okay, and now we put this on, and we're just gonna wiggle that into place, get that nice margin like that, and press. I also noticed that I could have pushed this a little closer when I did the inlay, but I think that's okay. We'll let that adhere. I pulled out some of the little bats because I think I'm gonna need them. Okay, I have a thin foam square on his head. Come here now. I guess I could call this little guy Laszlo. This is Laszlo's head. And the head, you don't have to use the head, but if you want to, I mean, look at that. It just covers right there. And then you get a little smiley guy. You know, I almost thought about putting a spring, like a, what are those called? A crazy wonky shaker. But I decided not to because shakers are crazy. Or the springs, you know what I mean? Oh, I can't speak. What are those called? The coils, brain is gone. Okay, here, because I like something to be tilted with something straight, we're gonna do that. Okay, so Happy Halloween, the one we did in the first. And again, we've got that texture back there, but look at the beads. I mean, they're so cute and they sound great. All right, let me position my little bats to finish out this card. And the bats have been placed, and that is the finished card project. So that is my second card for today, and I think you'll agree, they were spooky cute. You can find links to all of the products I used in today's video in the YouTube description box. I'll also have a blog post for you with photos and more details about these cards. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, I'd love to have you, so please hit that subscribe button and be sure to hit the notification bell so that you don't miss the next time I post. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day. To see more Halloween card project ideas, check out the 2 thumbnails I have linked below, and I'll see you in those videos.